How's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgie Man and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about My Dress Up Darling chapter 110. So what did I think about this week's chapter? Honestly, I thought that it was a very sweet chapter. I thought it was a very wholesome chapter, and we got to see pretty much my girl Akira once again showing up, and it's always a blast seeing her. She's like one of my favorites in the whole show, and I was very happy to see her once again, especially the way that she sims for Marin, and this week's chapter was no exception to that. Now, before I go any farther with this week's chapter, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my anime and manga, as well as all my Dress Up Darling content that I'll be providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's chapter. Now, one thing to note is before we get into this week's chapter, I just want to wish you guys a happy Halloween. I hope you guys have a great time with your family and friends. You know, enjoy yourselves, be safe. And as you could tell, I'm actually dressed up. I'm Gojo. You really can't see the white shirt, but there you go. So yeah, I'm Gojo. So yeah, that's why you guys are probably wondering, like, what is he wearing? What kind of clothing is he wearing right now? So now you know his little outfit. So, but yeah, with all of that said, let's get into this week's chapter. So this week's chapter starts off where we see pretty much who kicks off the chapter, our girl Akira, and she shows up, and like I said, it was a blast seeing her. Every time she's on, you know, anytime she has some panel time, I'm happy, you know. And we pretty much see that she's talking to Gojo, and she's like, wow, I can't believe like the Shiba Tokyo guy, like, or whatever his name is, the creator of the Haniel character, you know, they're like, wow, I can't believe that, you know, that he will like compliment you. Like, he reached out and was like, he never messages people or like never even comments about anything. So it's crazy that he commented about your guys' cosplay. And she's like, and then Gojo's like, yeah, you know, it was cool. It's like, yeah, but like he doesn't even know who you are. And then like you see Akira at one point, she's like, wait, do you like, he replied to you as long as, because Akira even replied, but you gotta scroll all the way down to find the comments, because apparently it's like so many comments, obviously, so it's hard to find Gojo's exact reply. And because Gojo in the reply, he's like, yeah, you know, I thank you so much, Sensei. And then it's like, whoa, so you know he's out there but nobody really knows that it's him. So I thought it was pretty funny because Akira's even like, yeah, no one will know it's you, because they'll might think like, oh, he's just a poser, he's just lying. And what happens is pretty much you know, Gojo's like, it's fine, I don't care, as long as he liked it, I'm happy. And you see this panel where Gojo soul smiles, and it was very wholesome. It was very sweet of him to, you know, because we did realize like how hard he tried, you know, making that cosplay and how stressful it was, which he does mention in this chapter. But it's great to see that pretty much it really paid off. And, you know, the author, as we saw earlier chapters, you know, he paid attention to it and he praised it for the masterful work that Gojo did. So it was great. And we see that even Akira is like, hey, you did a great job. Like, good job, kid. Like, and it's like a prideful moment because, you know, Gojo's like, I couldn't have done it without you. And then Akira's like, no, there's no way. Like, you know, I taught you some things, but like at the end of the day, you're the one that did it. You did a great job, and I'm just proud of you. And it's cool because we do know that Gojo looks up to Akira when it comes to like making props for cosplays, because she's very good at it. I mean, she's the one that taught him all of the basics that he needed. And it's really cool seeing like, you know, praise and compliments from, you know, your senpai, quote unquote, your, you know, the person that's older to you that you look up to. It's really cool. You know, it's a nice moment between these two. And while they're talking on the phone, you also see like apparently Gojo is like, hey, Akira, is everything okay? Because as you know, I'm assuming he heard some emotions in her voice. And what I mean by emotions, she's probably crying, because we see her crying and Gojo's like, are you crying again? And you just see her sobbing because she's like, it was so great seeing Princess dressed up as Haniel. And it's awesome. I love this panel. I put it as a thumbnail of this video. I just love this you know, panel. It really emphasizes like, you know, Akira's love towards Marin, her aka Princess. And it's really cute. Like I said, I love this kind of dynamic between her and the crew, because she's the pretty like the straight face, you know, like the adult in the room. Yet, you know, when it comes to these silly moments where, you know, she, you know, sims for Marin, I think it's just hilarious, and it's really fun. And it makes her personality take a back seat and show her true colors, you know, which is, you know, a big nerd like us. And what happens is pretty much Gojo's like, oh, it's okay, like, you know, you don't have to cry, like, it's fine, dude, relax. And you see Akira's like, yeah, but you see the reason is like, because Gojo is trying to invite her to the next comic event that they go to, the next cosplay event. And Akira's like, yeah, thank you so much, but it's like, yeah, by the way, when it comes to these cosplay events, like I'm usually in the background, I'm usually like take a back seat. And she starts explaining the reasoning why is because she, throughout her childhood, she had felt this moment where, as a kid, or not a kid, but when she was younger, she felt like, she would not fit in. Like she always wanted to fit in with the crew, and people might look at her weird knowing that she likes all these nerdy stuff. So she was never really able to actually cosplay and go out there in these cosplay events until years later, as she is now as an adult. And like I said, even though we had seen glimpses of it in her past when she talked to Gojo earlier in the series, it was more of an insight into her childhood, which was great, and I really appreciate it because it gives us more character development and character knowledge of how Akira was back in the day. And it really showcases her character progression since then, how much she's progressed as a character and how she's no longer afraid to really do that because she's met people like Marin. And you see a panel where she thinks of Shizuku, I think that's her name, the chick, Suzuka, I think that's her name, the photographer from earlier in the series, the one that's friends with Marin and them. And we see that how she really, starts thinking about how thanks to their friendship and thanks to meeting Marin, she's been able to open up more, and that's great. It's really showcasing how Marin's able to reach these people just from her presence alone. And that's the cool thing with Marin, and I think the reason we all love Marin, because she is a great person. Like, I think she's just a nice, genuine person that really is able to impact people's lives. Well, I mean, I might sound a little dramatic when I say that, but it genuinely thinking, yeah, she's affected Gojo's life in a very positive way. I would say the same with Shinju and Ino, even though, like, the Sakuya, she might not want to agree on that. Like, she might be a little bit hesitant. Even she would, I think, deep down inside would think, like, thanks to meeting Marin, she was able to meet her friends like Gojo and the rest of the crew. So it's really cool. Like I said, it's just showcasing Akira rules. Love her. And pretty much how the chapter starts nearing its end is that we actually see Gojo and Akira talking, and we see that Gojo is just like, hey man, like, you're doing a great job, just keep doing it, and let's see what the next cosplay is going to be about, because he pretty much brings up, like, apparently the next cosplay is coming up soon. Is like, we should come. He's like, okay, let's do this. And the chapter ends in a pretty I would say ambiguous way, where we don't know what's really going to happen, because he does bring up, like, how Marin's going to do a new cosplay, and how Akira is also bringing up how she's like, what, there's other works of Shiba that you could adapt, like, in characters and why not, because he does great works. He does a bunch of good stories. And Gojo's like, oh no, I'm good. After perfecting the Haniel cosplay, I never want to, I think I'll take a break on that. I will not want to adapt more of his creations. It was a lot of stress, and hey, listen, I think we can all agree that, yeah, absolutely, Gojo was suffering. My man was down in shambles because of that. But guess what? He rose from them shambles and rebuilt his kingdom, which then led him to his queen. So it all worked out in the end, and pretty much, like, that's how the chapter ends. An important thing to note is that we will get another chapter in 2 weeks from now. So the release schedule for these chapters are being very consistent, and I'm very happy. As long as Fukuda's not overstressing herself, I'm glad that we're getting more content, and I'm glad that we're moving the story even more forward, because I saw a big concern with a lot of the fandom was like, oh, is it going to end now? Is it going to be like 5 chapters from now? And I've been very adamant of this feeling since the very get-go, where my feelings on the situation is, I don't think the story is ending anytime soon. I think it's very profitable for Fukuda, as well as the publishers and all that. And I think that there's plenty of stories to tell right now. Like, I still remember, like, they're still in high school. What if they go to college and so forward? I think there's many possibilities out there for the story to continue, and I think the signs are pointing most likely to that. I think that there's plenty of story now that Marin and Gojo are dating, to move the story to new horizons that have been unseen in romance comedies in a while. Who knows? Are they going to be pretty much from this point in time till, I don't know, when they're in their 20s? That'd be cool. I think that'll be a nice progression to seeing them, from their teenage years to young adulthood to adulthood, and just seeing their dynamic and relationship grow as a whole. So that's just my prediction. Who knows? But all I know is that we'll get a new chapter in 2 weeks. But with all that being said, what did you guys think about this week's chapter? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys thought it was all right? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more My Dress Up Darling, as well as more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, as well as a great Halloween. Bye bye.